What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is going to be Delilah season 1 episode 5. I thought I missed the episode last week, so I'm so glad that I didn't. This is episode 5. I guess for whatever reason they skipped a week last week. Um, so we pick up where we left off with Leia's apartment getting broken into. We thought the guy was still in her apartment, and what he did was he snatched the phone out of her hand and ran. So they got what they came for. They came for the laptop. They came for the phone. We see Delilah at her apartment talking to the police, and she's telling the police, listen, you need to go look for Osborne, you need to go do this, you need to go do that. Like, she's letting them know, this is connected to one of my cases, this isn't an average, B&E, this is something going on here, and I'm telling you who you need to go talk to and who you need to go investigate. And of course the two police officers was like, okay, we're gonna do our job, but I'm gonna need you to stop telling me how to do my job. And one of the guys was like, and who do you think you are? She was like, Delilah Conley. And his partner was like, as in Chief Conley? So I knew her dad was a high rank in the police department. I didn't realize that her dad was the chief of police. Okay. And then Leia was like, and Tamara. And so Delilah was like, Tamara? What Tamara got to do with this? Well, Tamara had called Leia to ask her to meet her like on the other side of town. Leia said she got all the way over there. Tamara wasn't there. She called Tamara. Tamara gave her some old song and dance about getting stuck at work, but she made her a settlement offer. And she said, listen, there is going to be a settlement offer coming, but that's going to be the final offer. Well, first of all, Delilah is pissed off because Delilah is like, she's not even allowed to talk to you without me. Like, she's not allowed to circumvent me, number one. And number two, why would she be calling you to meet about a settlement that I don't know anything about? So back over to Tamara's house, Delilah goes, Tamara's talking to her man, they talking about the wedding and all that good stuff. Tamara calls and was like, listen, I need to talk to you, meet me in the lobby now. So Tamara comes downstairs and she's like, girl, what is wrong with you? Like, what's up with the attitude? And she was like, so you meeting with my client behind my back? And she was like, girl, yeah. Because I'm trying, and the one thing I can appreciate is Tamara was like, girl, yeah. Because I'm trying to end this. Like, I don't like the fact that we're going against each other. You can't win this case. You are turning this into something it doesn't have to be. At the end of the day, you know me. I'm just trying to resolve this. She was like, sue me if you got a problem with it. She was like, I might. And what about you, you getting her out of the house? It seems very suspect that you called her to leave the house and then her house gets robbed. Like, either you are a part of it or they're using you to be a part of it. But either way, I need to put you on notice, because if we're going to do this, then we're going to have to just keep this on the up and up. Tamara was like, Delilah, girl, stop playing with me. You know me. Like, you know me. Maybe nothing more. Now, over across town, Delilah's ex-husband is laid up with his girlfriend. She's trying to get him to move in with her. Now, here's the thing. I'm just going to go ahead and knock all of this out right here. The girlfriend that he is currently seeing is a former student, and the reason why, it sounds like the reason why him and Delilah got divorced to begin with, but certainly a factor. And he ended up losing his job at the college because of the fact that he got involved with this woman. Now, they must have broke up, but now they done got back together. They've been back together for about a year. She said, listen. She's telling him, she said, listen, I done already told you that I need somewhere to live. We've been together. We need to take this to the next level. But you know what? I see right now that you ain't never going to see me as more than just one of your students. Like, for whatever reason, you can't elevate in your mind that this relationship needs to go somewhere different. And I'm not going to keep playing this game with you. So at this point, I'm done. I'm moving on. I can't do this. I can't be in this holding pattern. And he was like, what you talking about? Like, we good. Like, I'm not ready to, Then he said finally, well, let me just talk to Delilah. She was like, yeah. All right, talk to Delilah. We'll get to that later. Or should I knock it out now? Child, let me go and knock that thing out now. So later on in the episode, he goes to talk to Delilah. And he tells her that he's back with old girl. And that, they're going to move in together. And Delilah was like, so ruining your life wasn't enough for you? Like, you lost your job because of this? You messed up your family because of this? And this is what you choose to do? She said, well, I tell you what, my kids won't be up in that house. And he was like, see, that's the problem. Like, you keep acting like you got a choice in all of this when you kind of don't. You kind of don't. And she was like, well, we're going to have a long conversation before my kids are in that house with her. And he was like, no, no, we don't. And you know, I like you, Delilah, but when it comes to the situation with your husband, I do feel like you be doing a bit much. I get it. You're a woman scorned. Feeling some kind of way, and now he's back with the woman that you feel like probably ruined, not only ruined your family, but it ruined his life. I mean, ruined a lot of his potential. You know, um, but if y'all have a custody agreement, you can't control who's in that house when your kids are with him. I mean, if that's the custody agreement, I mean, unless you suspect there's some sort of abuse going on, which would be a whole nother conversation. The other thing that we see is that the daughter pulled dad aside to have a conversation with him. Well, come to find out, she had learned about this conservatory up in Philadelphia that she wants to attend. She wants to apply, and if she gets in, she'll have to forego her senior year in high school, but she will end up getting her diploma up at the conservatory. And of course, she would have to live up there. And he said that he told her, "Listen, you're gonna have to go talk to your mom about this. Like, I ain't got nothing to do with this. You gotta talk to your mom about this." So the brother Andre, he done called up his wife, and he done asked his wife, you know, to come up. You know, he want to have a date night. Why don't you come up here tomorrow night? She was like, tomorrow night? He was like, yeah, why don't you come up tomorrow night? She was like, what time? And he was like, about 8 o'clock, you know. She was like, I try to make it. He was like, okay, cool. And then when she hangs up the phone, we see her roll over, laying on old boy chest. The same dude that came to the door that Delilah trying to tell her brother she messing with him. So later on in the episode, we see her brother, you know, taking great pride in being able to dress himself, and you know, because he was like, I'm not gonna be a burden when I go home. I will not be a burden to my wife. I do not want her to feel like she's taking care of 2 kids. He's doing everything to try to create a situation where they can work this relationship out. Child, I know what that's like. When I went through rehab and I had to learn how to walk all over again, and they're teaching you how to dress yourself and all these things. Like, it is such a sense of accomplishment. I mean, certainly my situation is different from his, because knock on wood, thank God mine wasn't permanent. But I definitely understand that sense of accomplishment. Anyway, later on in the episode, she does actually show up for dinner, and he got the candlelight, and he got it looking all romantical and everything. And baby, she basically breaks up with him. She tells him, "Listen, I can't do this. This is a wrap. This is a done deal. No, this not gonna work for me. It's a no for me, dog." So of course, we'll see where that goes next week. Now Delilah rolled up on her daddy. Daddy looked like he looked at a nice little house and everything. Roll up on daddy and asking daddy for his help. She like, listen, this is what's going on with my case. This is what's going on with my client. I need you to get on your police officers to treat this more seriously. They trying to carry it like it's just a regular old B&E, and it is not. It is serious. It is more going on here, and I need your help. So daddy is like, I need them files. Because she shows him the reports and everything. Because she said this is about Andre. Because I guess she figured if I make this about Andre, then he'll help me out. And so he shows her the reports. And of course he is piqued and he is curious. And he is, you know, wants to help her. But he tells her, he said, listen, let me tell you something. This is what you need to do. I need those files that you got from Gary Shea. Tell his wife to bring those files to the police. And maybe I can help you out. And so Delilah, so they sort of make like a little bit of an agreement. You know, I'll do this if you do this for me. Right, kind of thing. Now later on in the episode, Chief of Police Daddy get a phone call from his old partner, who is now, I think, like head of the union or involved in the union. And he lets him know, listen, Osborne is about to donate free bulletproof vests for the whole police department, but basically we need you to play ball. We need you to back down up off this situation, and we need you to not investigate so closely. And they're gonna make the announcement tomorrow. So they basically put her dad in a bad situation, in a bind. Like, listen, we're not asking your permission, we're not even asking for a favor. We're telling you this is what we're gonna do, and if you do continue to go after Osborne, the backlash is gonna be on you. And his partner also alluded to some things like maybe they got some secrets between the two of them that her daddy might not want to become public if he feel like he got to go there. It was some hidden threats in there, some hidden threats in there. So we see Delilah playing cards with her investigator now. I get the impression that the investigator either he likes Delilah or they got some sort of history. I feel like maybe they done had a one night stand somewhere. Things happened. She woke up the next morning and was like, "Oh shit, what I do?" And ever since then, he been trying to get back in. That's the impression I get. I don't know if that's true or not. But they're talking, and she's talking to him about what's going on with the case and with Leia and everything, and how I don't know what's on that computer, but I asked her to bring her computer by the office 2 or 3 times and she never did, and all of this, all of that, and the other. He invites her out on a date. She turns him down. But again, the way that whole thing went down made me feel like there's some sort of history there that we're not necessarily privy to yet. I think we'll find out eventually, but in that moment, we're not necessarily privy to it, Down to Tamara's job, she confronts her boss about what happened with the laptop and was like, was this a setup? Is this what happened? I need to know, like, what's going on. And her boss was like, listen, I ain't had nothing to do with it. Now, my daddy might have had something to do with it, but I didn't have nothing to do with it. It wasn't a setup from my point of view. And he was like, and if you really want to ask my daddy about it, you are more than welcome. Go for it. But I ain't. It's a wrap for me. So, of course, now Tamara's in a situation. She's sort of in a little bit of a bind, okay? Now, down to Delilah's office. Listen, somebody in my comments put that Delilah's assistant is her Jane Doe from that case that she lost that keeps coming up. And that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. But it's something with Miss Barnes, too. I don't know. It's something with Miss Barnes. Delilah is instructing them to put those files back. Don't have no fingerprints on them files. Make sure y'all wearing y'all gloves, but put those files back exactly how you found them. So, cause she gonna, give them back so that the police can get the files, right? And of course we have a little tense moment once again between Miss Barnes and the assistant. And later on in the episode, Delilah talks to her about it, and she was like, "Listen, what is it you want me to do to help with y'all figuring this whole thing out? Like, what do we need to do for y'all to work this out?" And she, it's something there. I don't know what's going on. It's more to that story. I don't know. And she could very well be Jane Doe, but I still think it's more to the story, even with her being Jane Doe. It's something more there, in my opinion. So Delilah and Tamara end up having lunch because she's still her bridesmaid, and they're having lunch. It's uneasy, it's awkward, and of course, they're having small talk about things with the wedding. Have you found a venue? Have you done this? Have you done that? And of course, they end up on the case again. And Delilah asked her, she said, "Well, Delilah, I talked to my boss and we didn't have anything to do with it." She said, "Did you talk to the daddy?" Because it's clear that everybody knows that the daddy is really running things, that the son is just there, doing the daddy's bidding. And so Delilah was like, "But did you ask the daddy?" And Tamara lied and said yes. And Delilah was like, "I know you're lying. Like, I've known you all my life. I know that you're lying. And, I need you to ask. Like, this is what I need from you. Like, you're being deceitful. You're lying to me, but I need you to ask." And so they end up getting into an argument. And she tells Delilah, "Listen, you know what the rules are. You got till midnight to call me and apologize." Delilah was like, "Do what?" And she leaves her money on the table, honey, and she gets up out of there, okay? Now, so now we're dealing with Tamara and Delilah waiting for the other one to call. Tamara's fiance is telling her, "Listen, just call that girl. They trying to do the wedding arrangements and the guest list and everything." And she was like, "I'm not calling her because I'm not wrong. She insulted me. She accused me of lying." And he was like, "But you kind of did." And she was like, "Well, I'm not apologizing." Now we got Delilah on the other side talking to the investigator again, and he's telling her, "Listen, you just need to go ahead and call her." And she was like, "I'm not. I didn't do anything wrong. She lied to me. I'm not calling to apologize to her." And she told him about how the whole thing went down or whatever. So we find out from, Delilah's talking to her investigator that Tamara had a rough life. She said, Tamara always had my back. I know why she fights the way she fights because she's always had to fight her whole life. I know that she can be selfish, but, we've always been sisters. So eventually, Delilah does call Tamara. I think probably called at 11:59, child. But she don't apologize and Tamara don't apologize, but they do talk. And what you hear is Delilah is like this fight for the people goody goody, and Tamara is this whatever it takes to get the job done type lawyer, corporate lawyer. And Delilah, there's a part of Delilah that does judge Tamara, and she's like, listen, Tamara admitted that she didn't ask the big dog, and she said, listen, you don't understand what I'm dealing with over here, and at the end of the day, Delilah was like, yeah, but you know what, there are going to be other cases. And they won't involve me, they won't involve Leah, but you got to make a decision about what it is that you want to do. And basically she was saying, you got to make a decision about your integrity and how far are you willing to go for a case? How far are you willing to bend for a case? And Tamara tells her, listen, girl, you are living in the land of rainbows and roses. That ain't the land that I live in, okay? I live in the land of this is what it is, these are the facts, and we're going to make it happen by any means necessary for our clients. Within the boundaries of the law, we might bend the rule, but we ain't going to break the rule. And that is who I am, and that is what it is. And I don't want to do anything different. I don't want to be anybody different. I'm good. She said, at the end of the day, I just need you to make your case. I need this case to be over. If there's no case to be made, let's settle and let's move on. Because I can't keep doing this with you. I can't keep playing this back and forth game with you. I need this case to be over. And Delilah was like, well, girl, do you want me to not be your maid of honor anymore? Like, is that where we're going with this? And Tamara was like, if that's what you want to do. And she was like, no, I'm just saying, will that make things easier for you? And Tamara was like, well, the case is in a month. Maybe we should take a beat. She said, yeah, maybe we should take a beat. So, baby, she said, you still my sister. She was like, yeah, you still my sister too. But, baby, you ain't my maid of honor no more. So, the next day, we're at the office, and Delilah's dad comes through. She done turned in the files and everything like that. And Delilah's dad comes through, and he lets her know what's going on. He said, listen, I can't help you because they basically got me in a bind. They didn't got Osborne to donate all this equipment to the police department, and I can't sacrifice putting people's lives in jeopardy. We're talking about bulletproof vests for our officers. Like, I can't put the lives in jeopardy. They got me over a barrel, and I can't really help you. And I can appreciate that that her father is being honest about the situation. Like, listen, this is what's going on. Now, while he's trying to talk to her, the police roll up in there with a warrant to arrest Delilah for obstruction of justice because of them damn files. Because she had those files and didn't turn them in. And her father is like, whoa, 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 you stand down. And they were like, we have a legitimate warrant. Like, yeah, you our boss, but we got a warrant. He said, who signed that warrant? And when they said the judge's name, her father was like, of course. So, baby, that's how the episode ends, honey, with Delilah getting arrested, child. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.